is Cadet Airman Wyatt Corbett. The ceremonial guards are Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Solly McCoy, Cadet Master Sergeant Melanie Parton. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Madison Travitz and Catherine Brown. And now, our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, ROTC. Thank you, ladies. That was beautiful. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to Swain County High School Athletic Banquet 2015-2016 season. At this time, I'd like to take some time to recognize and thank a few groups of people that have helped us get through this season. First of all, Coach Patillo and anyone from Central Office, if you'd please stand up. Central Office staff, Coach Patillo, thank you. If any school board members or county commissioners are here, please stand up. Thank y'all. Our high school administrators, Mr. Sell, Coach Clapsaddle, or Coach Blankenship are here. If y'all please stand up. The Booster Club for a great job, what they've done with this meal and what they provided us for this afternoon for these festivities. Thank y'all. Another group that helps us through the year, help raise money for big ticket items, Swain Pride. Thank y'all for what y'all do for us. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our band for everything they do through us throughout the year, traveling to every football game. They came to a basketball or 2 games this year. I thank you for all y'all's hard work if any band members are here. Thank you. To recognize a few people that help us get through some seasons, Mr. Bob Thomas, thank you for all your announcements at the football games. Paul Crowley for the clock operating during the basketball games. Miss McMahon for all your hard work on the program. Thank you. Joe Holt for all the videoing you do for us where we carry all our ball games live and putting that on the stream and network. Thank you for your hard work. Coach Burrell and Sharon Burrell for the stats and everything you do about getting our kids recognized in the paper, getting us out on social media, and helping us get recognized the best we can. Thank you. To this group behind me, these coaches that put in so many hours of hard work, time away from family. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for everything you do for us and for these kids. Thank you. Their backbone, if their spouses are out there, if you'd please stand. We couldn't do what we do without your support. There's a lot of times that we're not home, and I just want to take the opportunity to thank y'all for letting us have them. Thank you. This next person I'd like to thank is a young lady that helps try to keep us healthy. With everything now with concussions and everything you have to worry about, she kind of keeps all our paperwork and helps taking care of our kids. And she spends a lot of time up there and a lot of hours. And if we had to pay by the hour, it wouldn't be very much. But I put her up for an award with the NIAAA, and she received an award to recognition of significant contributions, dedication, service to North Carolina athletics. Carrie Powell, thanks for all you do for us. If all our athletes would please stand at this time. All athletes. Stay standing. For all your sacrifices. It's not a thing to do anymore to do this, because there's a lot of other things that you want to do. But there are a lot of sacrifices to do this, and I just want to say thank you. But also, for the third year in a row, we are the Modell Walsh winners of the conference, Smoky Mountain Conference. That means we are the best overall school in athletics for conference championships and higher seedings. So for the third year in a row, we are the Modell Walsh winners. Thank y'all. At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Holt. We've invited Special Olympics. I don't know if any of them made or not, but she wants to recognize some Special Olympic athletes at this time. Ms. Holt.
So this is the second year that we have been in Special Olympics. We had 8 athletes this year, and if they're here, come on forward. I didn't see you, but it's hard to tell. So I'm just going to recognize them. They did track and field, jumping, and throwing. So it was Bradley Bilecki, Aubrey Green, Dalton Hendricks, Kendra Holder, Sean Kirkland, Elena Martinez, J.C. Smith, and Dre Taylor. And next year we hope to have another team as well. So thank you.
Last year I started a thing with tri-sport athletes, and that's any athlete that plays 3 or more sports. At this time, we're going to call you up to receive your patch for your letter jacket. If we've left anybody off, we're sorry. I went through all the rosters, and I think I've called everybody, but it's just an honest mistake. This time, if you get called, when we call you out, if you'll come get a patch and then stand in front of the table so you can be recognized.
All right, tri-sport athletes, Briar Buchanan, Lindsay Hicks, Malia Langstaff, Kylie Pond, Faith Long, Gabby Jones, Taylor Medlin, Alyssa Smith, Brooklyn Brown, Gabby Lane, Grace Cabe, Alyssa Schofield, Aaron Jenkins, Sydney Hampton, Kendall Cochran, Tori Treadway, Ayana West, Reese Welch, Caitlin Carter, Bradley Vestal, Darren Blankenship, Dwight Winchester, Phineas Little, Brett Treadway, Preston Robinson, Will Ogle, Cooper Reinert, Holden Petty, Gage Southards, Zeke Bradley, Lee Langstaff, Jacob Waldroop, Kyle Ponshot, Valentine Villagomez, Jesse Waldroop, Angel Bowers, Grant Schuler, Dylan Smith, Caleb Woodard, Craig Cutshaw, Cameron Ponshot, Dylan McLeod, Tanner Parton, Ross Inslee, Isaiah Bradley, Seth Parker, Chris Miller, Clayton Katolster. And if we've left anybody out, come on up. We had also Shelby High and Parker Chatham who participated in indoor track that would make them 3. So if they're here, come on up as well.
We had 48 athletes do 48 sports or more. That's almost unheard of at a lot of schools. That's a lot of sacrifice. Thank y'all. Athletes. At this time, we'll start with girls cross country. Smoky Mountain Conference champions, Coach of the Year, Brene Edwards.
Do I go down there and get them? 2 years ago, our girls left the state championship placing 3rd. And they left with one thing on their minds: to return next year and come home with a state title. Coming into the season, they had the same goal. Unfortunately, things don't always go as planned. Within the first few weeks of this season this year, we had multiple stress fractures, we had concussions, we had students with walking pneumonia. Things sometimes we just can't control. Three of our top 5 athletes were gone. That didn't stop them from losing sight of their goal. They went on to win the conference championship, the regional championship, and continued to go on to place 4th at the state championship. It truly was an incredible feat. Just want to say thank you, an enormous thank you to both Julie Richards and Jennifer Chatham. I couldn't have done it without both of you. I also want to say thank you to all the parents out there, the parents of the runners. You guys truly, coming from a competitive runner myself, have no idea how it feels to finish a race and see your faces at the end. 2 awards to give out right now are: we have an honorable mention for the Western North Cross Country, which goes to both Malia Langstaff and Shelby Hyatt. Second award goes to Most Improved. This award was particularly difficult. Out of all my female runners that I had, every single one of them improved by the end of the season. Some of them shaved minutes off their time. One of my girls definitely stood out. I don't believe she's here, but I want to say congratulations, and I can't think of anyone that deserves it more than Ayla Cruz. MVP, not much of a surprise here, as she went on, and I believe she won almost every single race for the Lady Devils. I think but one. Despite being sick, I think for majority of her high school cross-country years, one year I believe she had pneumonia, she ended this year with her best race at the state championship. She placed 5th. I don't think many of us saw that coming. She truly, truly is incredible, and I hope she would continue to run cross-country in college. MVP goes to none other than Shelby Hyatt.
Next, boys cross country, Smoky Mountain Conference champions, Coach of the Year, Peter Julius.
They say that the number one fear most Americans report is public speaking, testify. I'm going to make this fast and to the point, pretty much like the Maroon Devils boys cross country team. After a drought of 8 years, the Maroon Devil boys cross country team are once again Smoky Mountain Conference champions. Big round of applause. If you are a parent of one of our boys cross country team members, would you please rise? Come on, I know there's none. Well, anyway, I would have liked. There we go. Thank you. I want to express my thanks. You have raised phenomenal young men. They have an amazing work ethic. There's nobody. They train in anonymity, and they nearly race that way. There are no huge crowds at cross-country meets. These guys run for the love of the sport and the love of one another. They support each other, and I am continually impressed. I've been gone from Swain for a long time, and I had sort of promised myself that when I got back, I was just going to focus on academics. But it's like being in the mafia. If you're a Swain coach, once out, you're never once in, you're never out. And I'm so delighted to be back in cross country because it once again reminded me of what an amazing job Swain County parents do raising their children. And my sincere thanks for placing your trust in me and my fellow coaches. And speaking of fellow coaches, I'd like to point out and give my thanks to Julie Richards and Jen Chatham for their continued, consistent help and encouragement out of Deep Creek every day. This would not have been the same season without them. And also our team manager, Emma Pinder, who was injured. Cross country is the love of her life, and instead of crawling into a hole and feeling sorry for herself, she came out there every single day to root our guys and gals on and provided immense service as our team manager. So my thanks to her as well. Without further ado, I'd like to give out our MVP award and our Most Improved award. MVP was not hard to figure out. He was our number one runner in every single race this season. He trains like a Hun. His work ethic is second to none, and I'm proud to be his coach, Parker Chatham. Our second award is the MVP. Often the MVP award will go to somebody who's very new to the sport and is initially very successful, and they make huge improvements because they started from ground zero. it's really, really hard to be an MVP if you already start out good. And this young man started out excellently. He started out the season with a PR of 19:22. By the end of the season, he had run an 18:08, so better than a minute off an already fast time. And his competitive spirit is a model of leadership and commitment to excellence that all the rest of his teammates admired and helped drive us to become conference championships. And our MVP award goes to Darren Blankenship. Darren, run faster. And lastly, our all Western North Carolina cross country honorable mention goes to Parker Chatham. Oh, and I'll be wanting.
Boys soccer. Coach Outlaw could not be here because of his business that he owns. It's a busy weekend, so he's tied up with that. The assistant coach had knee surgery, so he's down right now. So I'll be giving out these awards for boys soccer. If you would please, all boys soccer team, please stand, be recognized. Boys soccer. Honorable mention, all conference, Ryan Tranter. Is Ryan Tranter here? All conference, Brody Randall. The first award goes to Most Valuable Player Underclassman, and it goes to Holden Petty. MVP, and also all conference goes to Cooper Reiner. JV volleyball, Kayla McMahon, and varsity volleyball, Coach Janet Schuler.
Will all members of this year's JV volleyball team please stand up? Oh. Will all members of this year's JV volleyball players please stand? That was. This group of girls are a great group. They came ready to work and get better every day. It was awesome to see these girls grow on and off the court. The growth this group showed was unbelievable, and that was due to their hard work every day. The individual for our award showed dedication, leadership, and character throughout the year. She was a leader on and off the court and a great teammate. She's a fierce competitor, a bit of a perfectionist, and a great teammate. She sacrificed countless hours practicing for both our JV and varsity teams. She was willing to do whatever was needed for both teams. This year's MVP goes to Brett Patillo.
Will the varsity volleyball players please stand up? I'd like to thank all these girls for a great first season. It was a lot of changes that they had to go through. I'm proud of how hard they worked throughout the season to improve. I do want to share one memory, my favorite memory from the season. It was our first playoff game. And we got beat the first game, and we played pretty well. So I went back, and I thought we have a good chance. Second game, they just didn't show up. And I looked up, and it was 10-3. And I thought we were down 1, it's 10-3. So I called a timeout and talked to the girls, and I basically told the seniors, this is it. This is your season. You're done if you lose this. Well, we came back to win that game. And then the next game, we were pretty close. And a play happened between Faith and Autumn, in which Faith punched Autumn in the nose by accident and busted her nose. So she had to run off the court bleeding, and I look over, Brooklyn's crying because Autumn's hurt, but she's not hurt, but she's crying, and I've got, I think it was, one of the girls was comforting her, and we had Brett step in for a few plays, did a great job. Autumn went down, had to switch uniforms, came back mad. She was mad at the world. And near that time, Ashley stepped up, ran the court like nothing happened, and we ended up winning that and going on to win the whole game, the whole match. And I've never been more proud of a group of girls for not giving up. So now I'm going to call out, first I'm going to do honorable mention, and that would be Faith Long, Grace Cade, Gabrielle Lane, we also had one all-conference and also all Western North Carolina honorable mention, and that was Autumn Brown. I'm going to give out my first award. Is the most valuable player, and that is Autumn. Autumn is a leader. Autumn, if you don't know anything about Autumn, she's competitive. She'll voice her opinion on the court. Sometimes it got us in a little trouble, but most of the time it helped us out. She led us in assist, and I believe one of the serving stats. But Autumn, she's just a great leader, so she's our most valuable player. My next award is the Heart and Hustle Award. This goes to a young lady that's a coach's dream. She does whatever you ask her to do. You could tell her to do 50 suicides, and she may inside say things, but out she would do it in a heartbeat for you. She's a great teammate and another great leader, and that goes to Gabrielle Lane.
JV football, Coach Travis Stevenson.
I want to first start off by saying thank you to JV coach and staff, Tony Cochran, Ryan McMahon, and John Roper. These guys, I can't tell you how hard they work, what a great group of guys they are, and I appreciate you guys and love you guys, and thankful I had the opportunity to get to work with you all. Next, the JV football team. I've got to see a lot of you guys out here tonight, got to hug you necks. I can't begin to tell you what an honor and what a privilege it's been to coach you guys. As a coaching staff, we started off at the beginning of the year, and we didn't know exactly how it was going to be because we had about 2 kids, I think, that started the year before. So, we didn't have any high expectations, but they exceeded. And at the end of the year, a lot of you guys that came to the Murphy football game, our last game of the year, Murphy, was, of course, is undefeated, beat most everybody by 20 points or better, and it was just an old-fashioned dogfight, Coach. It was 0-0 with 7 minutes left to go in the game. I'd just never had a feeling of being so proud of a group of young men, seeing where they started from and to where they came to. Unfortunately, we ended up losing that game. But, after the game, you look out there and you see those kids' eyes and you see the hurt and the pain and, all the hard work that they put in all year long and the disappointment that they had at that last moment. But I've never been prouder of a group of guys. So to all you guys, I wish you nothing but best of luck and best wishes from here on. Now on to our MVP award. This young man, he's new to us. He has been a pleasure to be around. This kid's 6'4" as a freshman. He can dunk a basketball. He can throw a football 55 yards. He is a phenomenal talent. But above that, he's just a phenomenal kid. I have found one thing. I've never seen a kid that can dunk a basketball and throw a football like he can, but he can't spell very good. And what I mean by that is this. He's already laughing. I can see him. Our players thought enough of him to elect him as one of our captains. And he had only been with us for 3 weeks before we elected captains. That tells you what kind of leader he is and what he can be. So he was elected our captains, and on one of our first days we got there and we were doing our devil jacks. We spell out devils. So he's up there and he's going D-E-V-L. And then, of course, all our kids are dying. Anyway, after about the second, third, fourth day, we finally got him to spell devils correctly. But he's a great kid. Look forward to what he can do in the future. Love him to death. Our MVP goes to Zeke Bradley.
Varsity football. At this time, would all the players please stand for varsity football? This season did not go as our goals had wanted us to go. But sometimes that happens with injuries and things just don't go your way. The ball does not bounce your way. But that doesn't tell you about the success I think this group is going to have, especially this senior class. If this senior class would please stand. Senior class. This is a great bunch of high-character kids. And when things weren't going well one day, I got something from somebody in an email. And it says, sometimes your wins you may not get until 20 years down the road when these kids graduate and you see what they're doing 20 years down the road. That's when you may get to see what their real wins are. When you get to see those kids grow up and turn out to who they're going to be. Coach Dietz, I bet you've got to see some kids grow up that become great winners in the world and done a lot of things. And I think there's a great group of kids here that are going to do that. And I can't wait to see where you're going to be in 20 years. But thank you. The coaches, assistant coaches, thank you for all your hard work. There's a lot of time that goes into football. We meet on Sundays. Thank you for all the time that you give up. At this time, we're going to recognize our award winners. Honorable mention certificates for Smoky Mountain Conference. Honorable mention, Craig Cutshaw. John White. Brody Sitton. They can just all stay here. Be fine. Derek Fortner. Corbin Wildcat. Johnny Woodard. All Conference, Jake Marr. Caleb Woodard. Jordan Cody. Isaiah Bradley. Ross Inslee. Angel Bowers. And I left him off in the program. Honorable mention, All-Western, Ross Inslee. Honorable mention, All-Western, Angel Bowers. Second team, All-Western, Jordan Cody. Second team, All-Western, Jake Marr. I have one more. Hold on. I submitted a couple kids to an award that is new in the United States, and it's called the Burlsworth Award, and it's about a football player that played in Arkansas who died, who had high character. And you had to send in a kid's name with everything that he's done to the community, what he does in the school and everything. And the Burlsworth Character Award goes to Jake Marr. Thank y'all. We have two more awards to give. Coach Jaimez.
Evening, guys. This award we decided to call the Perseverance Award. One of the definitions of perseverance is steadiness in doing something despite difficulty, delay, and achieving success. And I can't think of another definition that would sum up this young man to me better than that. He's overcome a lot And I wish sometimes life wasn't the way it is for some people, but that's just the way it is. This young man's overcome two ACLs. Never really got to finish the season that he started in football the last 2 years, and he didn't really get to wrestle a match for us. But yet, I remember when it first happened, and one of the discussions we talked about, it was he wanted to know why me, and that was kind of tough for me to kind of answer. And so the best that I could come up with was why not? Because sometimes in life things happen to us, and we don't have any control over that. But yet, with that being said, I feel like he kind of took that in stride, and he's worked hard to become the person that I think he's gonna be, and he's heading in the right direction. He even though he didn't get to wrestle for us, he still kept score for us, and he actually won us about 2 or 3 matches. So he was still helping us out. At the end of the day, I couldn't think of a better person for this award, and I'm happy to call him my friend, Brody Sitton.
Our next award, Coach Morrow is going to give out. It's the Odell Award. I don't know when this award started, Coach Dietz, but it's been a long time, and they go through a lot of hard work to give the winner the videos of the season, and they do a scrapbook for them. And they've done it for a long time, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for the years they've done this award. But the Odell Award, Coach Morrow is going to give it out.
This is a very unique award, and it always goes to someone on our team who may not always be in the limelight, someone who you may not even know who they are sometimes. But it's always someone who is there at practice every single day. They do exactly what you ask them to do. They work their tail off, and I think this award is definitely a testament to the young man that's going to get this year. I just want to read you the letter that they put inside this scrapbook. It says, "Dear Brett, with the approval of the football coaching staff of Swain County High School, who were contacted concerning your contributions to the 2015 season, you were credited with having a high moral standard demonstrated by your behavior and a great work ethic shown by your working fully every day. These qualities inspired your teammates to do their very best on and off the field. Because of your dedication to help your teammates, you have been selected to receive this scrapbook, game program, and DVDs. Brett, as the school year comes to an end and you graduate, which he is going to come back Saturday, he had to move, unfortunately, you must reflect upon your future without high school and possibly without football. Always remember that life is much like the game of football and can be most rewarding. Just imagine a coach who has the perfect game plan and always wins the big games with those committed to playing on his team. I'm praying that you will apply the same determination to the game of life that you exhibited as a role player during the 2015 season. Always remember, the winning coach in the game of life is God, and those who coach with him are the coach's son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. They will always help you if you let them as you play the game of life. They will always be there for you, and all you have to do is hold tightly to the game plan by faith and keeping on the straight course. When the game is over, you won't even feel the bruises and wounds picked up along the way, because when the game of physical life ends, eternal life begins, and you could be crowned champion for an eternity. Many people are proud of you for the way that you have given your time and self to the game of football. Will they be just as proud of the way you play the game of life? Let God be your coach, and let your goal be to end the game of life as a winner. May God always bless you and keep you wrapped in his arms. I'm proud to be able to provide you with the opportunity one day to reflect on the past and remember the good times at Swain County High School. Vernon Odell." Our award winner this year was to Brett Bivens.
JV cheerleading, Pat Smiley. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Pat for all the lives she's touched. She's going to give it up, but she's touched a lot of lives in her time coaching with us, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you.
I'd like to say I'm very nervous. I can talk one-on-one. I can talk anybody to death one-on-one, but when it comes to a crowd, I can't. You know, I got to looking, I was like, gosh, everybody that's got up here is so young. I'm the oldest coach up here till I seen Coach Burrell. And he is 3 years older than me, so that made me feel better. Now, on a serious note, I'd like for all the JV girls to stand up. Biggest highlight this year was we were at the beginning of the season. We always start out with Robbinsville. You would literally think that we were going to a competition between them and us. So we prepare hard to get ready, and the day before the game, one of our flyers quit after we had this huge stunt. The girls go all to pieces. They start crying and everything. And I looked at them and I gathered them up. I said, we're not going to let this defeat us. I said, I know one that we can take it to. And I said, we're going to circle up and we're going to pray. And we started praying. And I know that through my life, and Coach Dietz knows as well as I do, Mitchell was always the highlight of my life. Yes, he won about every award with his senior year of football and everything else. But the biggest award that he won was serving Christ. And when he went home to be with the Lord, the best thing he said, what a servant that he wanted to be for the Lord. And what I say tonight with these girls are, when we went and we got that day, we only had the game day to practice. We went right out here, and in 15 minutes we threw our routine together, and we went up there and made Robbinsville look really, very bad. That was our whole thing, and we cheered our boys on. But the thing of it is that I want to say to these girls and all the athletes and the parents, I want to thank you, because you had young ladies, and they were such blessings. The reason I'm retiring from coaching, because both of my parents, within less than a year, was in ICU fighting for their lives. First, it was my mother. It had overdosed her with Xarelto. It was a blood thinner, and it almost took her life. It has taken us a while to get her back where she needs to be. In the process, we get a phone call. My son has to go to my father at 4:30 in the morning. He's hemorrhaging. He's losing his life. We're over another week or so in ICU. And I can tell you today, as a witness to this, regardless how young you are and what you face in life, because just like our pastor said other Wednesday night, your problems, when you're facing them, are huge to you, and they may not be to nobody else, but they are to you. Well, I am here as a first witness to tell you, whatever you face in life, God can help you overcome that in your life. And I'm thankful for that tonight. For this year's award for my girls, and I just want to be thankful for them, because they have made me the lady that I am today. And for the first award for my most valuable player, they were both my captains this year, was Carly Donaldson and Katie Winchester.
Varsity football cheerleading and varsity basketball cheerleading, Coach Sherry Wright.
I've got so much going on in the past month. I said, who did I give my awards to? So I'm glad they're on these plaques. If you were a member of the varsity football cheerleading squad, please stand up. Woo! I am so proud of the girls that I have. Is Autumn here? She can stand up wherever she's at. Just stand up, Autumn. I had one little senior, and you can barely see her because she's so short. But I couldn't have asked, stand up, I couldn't have asked for a better person to be a senior. And I'm so glad I only had one because it's less crying time. Thank you, Autumn, for all you did for our team. I'll miss you. Next year it's going to be bad because we got like 10. So I may not can make it through up here. We have, I always say if you can make it through 1 or 2 years with me, you've got it made. You can probably make it with anybody in life. I work them hard, and they're a great bunch of girls, and they never let me down, and they always make you proud wherever they're at, whether it's at a bowl game or whether it's at Robbinsville or wherever. They will always make you proud, and every time we have a tunnel for cross country or track or wrestling, they come out there. If it's not their sport, they come out. Anytime anybody in Swain County wants us there, they're there, and they never complain. Thank you, girls, for all you do. I started this year, if you have a child in Swain County schools, you've probably heard 7 Habits. We started doing 7 Habits, and here at the high school, we gave pigs, a picture of pigs, and you wrote things you were thankful for, and you gave other teachers. And then I stole from Coach Marr his chips and salsa idea. I think it was Coach Marr, wasn't it? Yep. And I started the M&M Award, which meant the More and More Award. This person would give more than was asked, more than I expected, and wasn't necessarily a captain or wasn't necessarily somebody in charge. They just gave continually. So for varsity football, I wanted to give an M&M Award for the person I thought gave a lot and didn't ever expect recognition. And my M&M Award goes to Carissa Murphy. It's like, where is she? My most valuable player for cheerleading is somebody that's really sweet and kind, but y'all just don't know her like I do, Erin Jenkins. If you were on varsity basketball, please stand up. We left Taylor Day's name off, so Taylor Day. We love going to basketball games. I think we were blessed this year that we didn't have to go to one, that we had to turn around halfway there because we got snow. So isn't that right? We had a great year for that. No weather, so. And I didn't get through out of any gyms this year, and I don't think he got a letter from the state about me this year. So it is a record-setting year for me with basketball season and my cheerleaders. I have a Cheer Spirit Award. This goes to similar along the lines of the M&M Award. This girl's always smiling and always helping and always asking, can I do something else? Do you need something else? And I'm so happy she's on my team, Miss Haley Nations. And I have a most valuable for basketball. I'm really glad that I have 4 awards because it's really hard to pick, and that's why he lets me do them together, because it's very hard to pick anyway because I have such a great group of girls. Before I I give this award, though, I want to go back and thank some people, which I should have done in the beginning, but I left my little list at home, so I'm out of order. I want to thank my family for putting up with me and what I do, and I want to thank God for giving me the desire to hopefully not just coach, but instill in your children some values I feel important. Responsibility, dedication, commitment to what they say they want to do. I want to thank the central office, and I want to thank my principals, Mark and Mr. Sale and Coach Clapsaddle and Coach Sheeby. And then I want to thank Carrie for always being there for us. Hopefully we don't need her too often. I want to thank the school board and the athletic boosters for always being there and helping us out and treating us. There's a lot of cheerleading schools that they don't get treated like the other sports, and we do. Thank you, Coach B, for that. And I'm just blessed to be where I'm at. My most valuable basketball cheerleading goes to a girl who works hard. She comes in, she texts me, she says, "Do you need me to do anything today?" Most of the time, I think it's because she wants out of Coach Jaimez's weightlifting class, Taylor Cochran.
Varsity girls basketball, Coach Michael Turner.
Good evening. To begin with, I'd like to thank God for the blessing that He's given me for the opportunity to come here to coach and to teach. It is through Him that all things are possible, and it is by His Son's wounds and by His stripes that we are healed, that we have a chance for salvation, for redemption, and for that I'm always eternally grateful to Him. Secondly, I'd like to thank the school board, Mr. Patillo, administration, Mr. Sell, Coach Blankenship for believing enough in me to take a chance on me and hire me to come here and coach, to be part of the Maroon Nation, to be part of this family, and to be Maroon strong. And so I appreciate that for the opportunity. I'd like to thank my coaching staff, Coach Langstaff, the trader, Coach McMahon, for putting up with me for a year and really being there to support us. We combined our JV and our varsity program this year due to injuries and numbers, and so we kind of all worked together for the season that we've had. Thirdly, I'd like to thank the parents for the phenomenal job that they've done raising these young ladies. We had absolutely no drama this year, and if you get 17 girls in one room and don't have drama, you're doing something well. And so these young ladies, whether they were the first one in the game, the first one off the bench, the last one to get into the game, these young ladies treated everyone with respect. They loved each other. There was no hierarchy that's not even a word. I pronounced that wrong, but right. There was no up here and down here. They were a family, and to me, that's a testament to you parents and the values that you've instilled in these young ladies. When there was a player needed a kind word, they would say it. When a player needed a hand, they'd give it. When someone needed to be picked up, they would pick them up. At the same time, when someone needed to be get on to because they weren't given the effort that is required to play basketball, they would do that as well. And for me as a coach, not just as a coach but as a human being, seeing those values instilled into our next generations of human beings, gives me hope in the future, because I know that with those values that you guys have instilled in them and the morality that you've instilled in them, that no matter what they do outside of here, they're going to be successful, and that's what matters in the game of life. And so I want to thank you parents for the phenomenal job that you did on raising these young ladies, because it makes my life easier, makes every coach out here easier. Finally, I'd like for all the varsity girls basketball players I feel like I should be like Slim Shady. Like, all the girls, please stand up. No. Sorry. I get nervous in front of people and just start rambling. So if I get all the varsity girls basketball players to stand up. I'd like to thank them because the first few workouts we had, the first few practices we had, I know that they looked at me kind of crazy. Some of them, Lindsay still looks at me kind of crazy because sometimes we were asking them to do things that they didn't think they could do and to push past the point where they thought they couldn't get past and to do something more than what they thought they were capable of doing. And for me as a coach, that's what coaching's about. It's about taking somebody who doesn't think they can do something and letting them see the quality, the value, the person that they can be. And so I want to thank you players for allowing me to be part of that situation and part of that. I also want to thank you for your willingness to show up and work. To me, that's the secret to success in life, is just being willing to show up, ready to work, and then let God do the rest. And I want to appreciate your willingness to show up and work. I also want to say a challenge that this summer, for you girls this summer, you guys heard me say it probably 1,000 times, but hard work outworks talent that doesn't work hard. So I want to challenge you girls this summer to be that hard work, to do that, put in the time this summer to build on what we did this first year and to expound on it and become better, not to be that talent that gets buried in the sand. With that being said, I believe our program took a step forward this year, and we're proud of the year that we had, and we took a step in the right direction to build a program that the community, the players, and the parents can all be proud of. We were 13 and 15 this season, which was third place in conference. We played in the conference tournament championship game and also made it to the second round of the state playoffs. All of these feats were the first time the Lady Devils have done that since 2007-2008 season, so we took a step in that direction. We had 4 young ladies selected honorable mention for all conference. Grace Cabe, Lindsay Hicks, Gabby Jones, and Taylor Medlin. We had 1 player selected all-conference, as well as second team all-Western. I did have a trophy for her. I got excited to her. As soon as I got it, I gave it to her. So she has it at her house already. I was excited for it. I was like, here's your trophy, yeah, and she took it home. So Malia Langstaff. And now I feel short. I've got 2 awards to hand out. The first award I'm going to hand out goes to the what I consider the most improved player. As the season progressed, I had the opportunity and the privilege to watch this young lady gain confidence in herself, constantly improve on the floor, as well as take control of the team and become a leader, one of the leaders on our team. At the end of the year, and this is exciting as a coach, I love for this to happen. At the end of the year, when we were in huddles at the end of the game, she was the one challenging her teammates to do better, to go out there and get it. And so when you can take a step back as a coach because your players are coaching and coaching positively, that's a step in the right direction, and that's what a point guard should do. So the most improved award goes to Lindsay Hicks. The second award goes for the MVP. This award goes to a player who led us in almost every statistical category that we had. 12.4 points a game, 10.8 rebounds a game, 3.5 assists a game, 3.8 blocks a game, as well as 2.6 steals a game. She was selected all-conference as well as second team all-Western. But more impressive to me than all the tremendous stats that she was able to put up this year is her competitive spirit, the way that she carries herself with humility, her caring nature, and the way that she inspires others. The MVP award goes to Malia Langstaff.
You just won the Coach's Award for the longest speech tonight. JV Boys Basketball and Smoky Mountain Conference champs, Coach Vincent Bradley.
Like Mr. Turner, this is my first year here at Swain High School, so I'd like to thank Mr. Sell, principal, for bringing me here to let me teach at this wonderful school. Also, Mr. Blankenship, Mr. Marr, and Mr. McMahon for bringing me in to let me help them coach here. I've enjoyed the season. It was a great season. Would the JV boys please stand up? We had a focus this year. I was the new guy. I came in and did a lot of screaming and yelling, and they kind of looked at me crazy, and they didn't know what to think. But more than basketball, more than any of that stuff, we had one focus, and that was work ethic this year. I wanted those young men to learn that they could do whatever they wanted. They could accomplish anything with a strong work ethic. When we broke huddles, the word was work. And I wanted them to own the word. I wanted them to own that word. Not just say it. Not just say, oh, yeah, I'm working, but own the word work. And a lot of them bought in. A lot of them worked really hard. And I was so proud of them. They were regular season conference champs. They had an exceptional year. The most valuable player, he kind of got to us a little late. They had that football thing going on a little long, which is a good thing when it goes long. But the first day he got to us is the day we voted on captains. He was in the gym one day, and his teammates said, that's captain. They voted for him right away, and he owned the word work every single game, every single practice, and every single time he stepped on the court, and that was Ice Littlejohn. Thank you.
Varsity Boys Basketball, Coach Scotty McMahon.
People I'd like to thank real quick is Jeff Marr and Vince Bradley. This is Coach Marr. This past year was his last year with me. He decided to take his focus a little bit elsewhere, but I appreciate what you've done for me, and I couldn't have done it without him this entire time. Some other guys who probably don't get thanked near as much are Big John, Ursula, and Tommy, and the rest of the custodian staff that always make this place clean and take care of it for us, as well as Jimmy there at the end. I got you this year, yeah. And Wayne and maintenance, as far as, taking care of everything we need maintenance-wise, from scoreboards to floor and everything else. My mom, Joanna, for the scorebook this year. Paul Crawley and Tommy Dill sitting back there in the back for doing the scoreboard as well. See you back there smiling. Yeah. Toby, Sharon, and Joe for all the production that takes place here during the ball games, and of course, Kerry Powell. If you're a member of the Varsity Boys basketball team, will you please stand? We had a couple guys that were honorable mention this year throughout the season. This was voted on by the conference coaches. You'll come forward and I'll call your name. It's Evan Bradley and Angel Bowers. We also had one all-conference player, that was Grant Schuler. Middle of the year came along, and we kind of had the same way with the football team, played with injuries. And a lot of teams at this point would have made excuses saying, we can't do it, we don't have this guy or that guy. But I think our team took on the motto of next man up, and, who's going to be the guy that's going to step up and lead us tonight. And one of those guys who kind of took that role on and made himself a little bit better player, better attitude, and became a go-to guy for us is our most improved, and that's Briar Yance. This next guy, a lot of people don't know about, but I cut him his 7th and 8th grade year from middle school when I was coaching middle school basketball. And I want to thank Coach Frank Manley and Matt Pegg for not cutting him his freshman year so that Coach James couldn't get a hold of him and make him a wrestler. But can't say enough about this guy and the characteristics he's brought not only to our team but every team that he is with. He probably should have been named the Perseverance Award considering, me cutting him twice. But he never gave up and always made himself a better basketball player and was always willing to get better, and that's Angel Ballard's Leadership Award.
Wrestling, Coach Adam James.
Thank you. I'd like to go ahead and ask our guys to go ahead and stand up if you were a varsity wrestler, please. I made a mistake like I typically always do because I'm in a rush or I don't pay attention. I'd like to go ahead and thank my assistant coaches. I do have assistant coaches. Coach Ian Roper, Tony Cochran, and John Roper. I couldn't do what I do without those guys. I love what I do. I'm fortunate to do what I do where I'm at, and I'm fortunate to be a part of a great fraternity of coaches here. It's some of these guys I call brothers, and I wouldn't want to do what I do anywhere else, so I'm very thankful for that. So thank you for everyone that keeps me here and allows me to be a part of it. I'll go ahead and recognize our honorable mentions. Craig Cutshaw. Corbin Wildcat. I'll go ahead. We had some All-Western North Carolina honorable mentions in wrestling as well. Ross Inslee. Craig Cutshaw. I tried to ask you to stay up here. Dawson Lowe. Chris Miller. Caleb Woodard. Will Paul. I'd like to go ahead and recognize the individuals that qualified for the state tournament this year. Ross Hensley. Dawson Lowe. And Chris Miller. We have 2 awards. Our first is our MVP award. It goes to a young man whose accolades speak for themselves, but more often than not, I think an award like this, even though it's called the most outstanding wrestler or MVP, I think it's what makes that individual for that award. Again, he had a 42-7 record this year. Smoky Mountain Conference champion, West Region runner-up. He was a state runner-up at 170. And he was all of those things, but he was so much more than that to me. Seeing where he started with the journey, it was really interesting because I didn't know which way it was going to go with this young man, but I knew one thing for sure. He had the work ethic to do something great. And even if he hadn't been the state runner-up this year, I feel like what he got out of our time together is going to suit him very well for things later on down the road. I appreciate this young man and everything that he's done for our program. Our most outstanding wrestler this year was Ross Hensley. Our next award is called the Leadership Award. It's one of my favorite awards because it's everything we want as a coaching staff to kind of cultivate and foster in our athletes is to show them how to be accountable, how to be people later on in life that can be looked upon to be leaders, to be role models. And the makeup of our team this year, we needed some of that in the beginning. There was a lot of uncertainty going into the season, but I knew it had the potential to be something great. And what makes this so special is the individuals that are a part of this program. And you have a kid that weighs 90 pounds, soaking wet, that's willing to go out there every night for you, and not just for you, but for the guys on that team, because he knows they're counting on him. And you have another individual that's coming back from a major injury because he knows that hole is empty in that lineup and he wants to try to be able to fill it. And then you have another young man that wasn't expected to be in the lineup, but he steps up in a big way. And the list goes on. And to have someone stand in front of these young men and say, hey, you guys, we're going to be okay, that was really nice to have, because you can't have enough guys like this guy a part of anything that you do. When you have one, you want to have as many as you can. Our leadership award this year goes to Caleb Woodard. Thank you.
Girls soccer, Coach Janet Schuler.
Will all the soccer players please stand up? Thank you. Coach Lefford could not be here tonight. He had a medical procedure. All the girls will agree that he's missing it because we know how much he likes to talk. So he would have loved to have been here to give out these awards. Who would have thought I'd be giving out a soccer award? If you'd have told me that last year, I'd have probably laughed at you. I've learned a lot. Like, example, first game, things weren't going real well, and I looked at Coach Lefford and I said, Coach, we need a timeout. And he said, we don't have any. I was like, we've already used them? He's like, you don't have timeouts in soccer. Who knew? Not me. Didn't know that. Didn't know a lot of things. I have thoroughly enjoyed this group of girls. I will tell you, we practiced no matter what. I believe the first day of practice, it was raining so hard, it was dripping in my eyes, and they never once complained. We practiced in the cold. We practiced in the heat. They are a dedicated group of girls. Coach Lefford selected 2 awards, and like I said, he would probably have a whole lot more to say if he were here. But I'm going to go ahead. Our Defensive Player of the Year is Kylie Pond, and I don't believe Kylie's here. And our Offensive Player of the Year goes to Malia Langstaff.
Golf, 2016 Smoky Mountain Conference champions, the golf team, Coach Josh Crisp, Coach of the Year.
That's fine. I'd first like to thank God for giving me this opportunity to coach. It's such a blessing, such an honor. Second, I want to thank my wife for putting up with my obsession. As you can tell, she had to run our son out the door because he was getting a little rowdy. Also, I'd like to thank Smoky Mountain Country Club and Sequoia National for giving us a place to practice and host our matches. Now, with the 2016 Smoky Mountain Conference Team of the Year champions, I can talk straight, stand up and be recognized. Our team consisted of 14 players this year. This is the most I ever got to coach. I don't cut anybody. Just because I don't cut you doesn't mean you're going to be on the traveling team. You have to work hard. We had 1 senior, 6 juniors, 1 sophomore, and 6 freshmen. So the competition was very fierce, and that made us a lot better, and that's what propelled us to win every match. This year, honorable mention, Brett Treadway. Placing 23rd at the state level and all conference, Jack Kornblum. I have 2 awards tonight. My first one is the Most Improved Award. When I first got this gentleman as a freshman, he couldn't hit it 5 yards, let alone hit it up in the air. But now as a junior, he's actually hitting the ball straight. His lowest round this year was a 43. He was shooting on 9 holes around 65. Now he's shooting 43, 45. So he's improved 20 shots already. So I look forward to watching him play next year as a senior. The Most Improved Award this year goes to Drew Johnson. The second award also goes to a junior. He was our Smoky Mountain Conference Player of the Year. He was all conference. He placed 3rd at the regionals, and he placed 2nd at state, which is the highest in our Swain County school history. Our most valuable player this year goes to Grant Schuler.
We're going to do these next 2 together. But boys and girls track, girls 2016 Smoky Mountain Conference champions and 2016 state champions. Coach of the Year, Coach N. Roper.
I'll get into some of our accomplishments and both individually and as a team here in a minute. But the one I think I'm the most proud of is this spring we had 87 boys and girls participating in track and field. And I always feel, and I know that kids do better in school, they're more successful in school when they're involved in activities outside of the regular school day. And it's just really amazing that so many kids are willing to step up and put in the work to participate. If you were a member of the boys or girls track and field team this year, please stand up. All right, we'll start with our boys team. We had just a really great bunch of kids that had strong senior leadership on this track and field team. We placed third in the conference, but we were also third in the Western Regional and ended up with a strong 15th place finish at state this year. It's a really, really tough bunch of kids, and we had 48 kids on the boys track and field team this year, and so I expect great things of them to come. First off, I'd like to recognize Cooper Reiner. Cooper, if you could come forward. Cooper was all-conference in pole vault. He was all-Western region in pole vault, and he is your 2016 1A state champion in pole vault this year. We had 10 other boys who qualified for the state championship this year. If you would, guys, as I call you out, please just stand up where you are. At Tanner Wiggins in pole vault. Brody Bowman in pole vault. Parker Chatham in the 3,200 meters. Chris Miller, Jordan Cody, Angel Bowers, Caleb Woodard, and Eduardo Zavala in both the 4x100 and 4x200 relays. Caleb Woodard in shot put. And Ross Inslee in discus. And my challenge would be, of those 11 boys that we qualified for state, 7 of them are seniors. So you 41 guys that are remaining, you've really got your job cut out for you to step up and fill those shoes. I'd now like to present the individual awards for boys track. To do the award for most valuable track, Coach Chatham.
I'm going to go a little out of order because I want to present this to my boy track athlete of the year and the girl as well. I feel like they kind of go together. I'm honored to be presenting the male and female track athlete of the year. These 2 student athletes are dear to my heart. I've watched them grow into leaders over the last 3 years. Their dedication to the sport of running is an inspiration to everyone on the team. Their drive to compete, regardless of circumstances, is no less than incredible. I would like for them to both come up at the same time because they are a team to be reckoned with. I'm proud to announce that the male and female track athlete of the year go to Parker Chatham and Shelby Hyatt.
Now I'd like Coach Julius to present the field athlete of the year.
And Coach, if it's okay, much like Coach Chatham, I'd like to present to both our male and female athlete of the year at the same time, if I could, please. It's my pleasure and honor to recognize both these athletes because both of them exemplify the best in sportsmanship and work ethic. They're primarily self-taught athletes. They coach each other. They watch each other and improve based on taking advice and tips and training and pushing one another. Our male field events athlete of the year, I'm so grateful I got a chance to meet this young man before he graduated because to me he exemplifies all the best there is in being a Maroon Devil, and that is Caleb Woodard. And our female field athlete of the year, even though she very casually strolled in during the meet at the state championship, and I said, Catherine, how'd it go? And she went, pretty well. I said, oh, good, that's great, because we could really use some good news. Like, how well? Fourth, fifth, somewhere in there? I asked, hopefully, and she goes, no, second. And it was 8 well-needed points. And she is a discus thrower supreme, an esoteric sport that she is largely self-coached in, and I'm likewise proud to know her. Catherine Brown.
So I guess I'll present the other two together also. All right, I'd like to present the track and field athletes of the year, and these awards go to the kids that have excelled in both running events and field events during the track season. There are crossover athletes. The first boy, he has been the leader of our jumps the past 2 years, both long jump and triple jump, and he is also the first leg of both our 4x100 and 4x200 relay teams. And I'd like him to come forward, Angel Bowers. All right, the young lady that is our track and field female athlete of the year was the conference champion in the 400 meters. And she was on 2 of our relay teams that were conference champions and led our team in high jump all year, won several events in high jump. And she was also the Smoky Mountain Conference track and field athlete of the year, and that's Malia Langstaff. And now, if I could please, if I could get all the members of your state champion girls track team to come forward, please. Yeah, just stay right here. Okay, just to talk about them a little bit. And some of the ladies that are standing up here may have had a track season that ended at conference. Some of these ladies may have made it to regionals. Some of these ladies were able to participate for us at the state meet. But all of these ladies are state champions because they put in the work throughout the year to prepare us to compete for a state championship at that level. And so I'm so proud of every one of them. They all had a huge hand in what we were able to accomplish this year. We had a regional track meet the week before state a couple weeks ago where everything went perfect. At the conference track meet, we won 3 relays. We had 3 girls win individual conference championships. But at the regional championship, everything just clicked. If it could go right for us, it absolutely went right for us. We won all 4 relays at regionals, which is just absolutely amazing. And we also had 5 girls win regional championships, so 2 more than even won conference championships for us. And so we went into state riding very high. And at the state meet, when the state meet started, it didn't go all perfect. We went from the absolute high of the week before to really stumbling at the start of the state meet. And these girls could have gotten their heads down, well, stumbling, I guess literally, right? But these girls could have gotten their head down and let it snowball on them, but they stuck to the course. They did what they'd done all year long, and they persevered, and they did what had to be done to be able to win that state championship. We also have several girls who are individual state champions, and Coach B has your all-state recognition. Sarah Hyatt was your state champion in pole vault. Emma Pender is your state champion in the open 800-meter run. And then our 4x400-meter relay team of Maggie Burns, Emma Pender, Malia Langstaff, Lindsay Hicks, and Madison Travitz are also state champions. It was an absolutely amazing experience, and ladies, it was an absolute honor to coach you guys this year and work with you. And I look forward to making a repeat run next year. Thank you. And the last thing I'd like to present, and I'll get out of the way, when you win a state championship, they give a plaque to the head coach of the team that says State Champion Women's Track 1A. I think that it is not appropriate just to give it to me, because without all the coaches that worked with me this year, we couldn't have gotten this done. There's just too many kids. There's too many different disciplines that have to be coached. And so we also got plaques for the other coaches. So if you could come forward, please. Where's Julie Richards? And one final award. There was a track athlete, Tyler Bowman, who passed away about 3 years ago, tragically after an accident. And his family has established a scholarship in his name that's to go to a male track and field athlete that exemplifies sportsmanship. And the winner of this award is Ross Inslee.
Now, with all those state championships, we need your help because with that goes fundraising for rings, and there's a lot of rings to be bought. We got several different ways to do that. There's they call it GoFundMe, okay? And you can find it on our media site, and you can go there and make a donation through that. If you want to make it another way, if you write a check, we could take it to Swain Pride. We'll put it in that account. We do have a tax ID number if you need that. Frambo's and Christy Anthony are also selling pictures. They've taken thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures and have them over there broke down. Anything they sell off those pictures is going to go to the ring fund. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that we can raise money for the rings. So please help us because that's a lot of rings. Okay. There will be a girls track team meeting afterwards, the banquet. Okay, and then the people helping us with the ring ceremony. We'll have a meeting afterwards with that too. We hope to have the ring ceremony by August. Okay, thank you. JV girls softball, varsity girls softball, Coach Toby Burrell.
Not real sure who I need to talk to about the order of this event, but that's a tough act to follow. I want to take a personal moment if I could. I've not ever had the chance to do this, but I see both of them here tonight. I want to thank Coach Dietz, who was kind enough many years ago to give me my first job coaching, and I appreciate it so much. And I want to thank Coach Frank Manley, who was kind enough 15 years ago to give me the head softball job, and I appreciate both y'all and the example you've been on my life and what you've done for this athletic program and this school. Thank you very much. Let's start with our JVs first off, and then we'll move to our varsity. Our JV season was an interesting and rewarding season in all. Each year we tell our JV team in particular that every day is about getting better, and that getting better is defined individually. For some, it's learning how to throw, to catch, while others, it's more advanced aspects like outfield angles. For us, a successful JV season means that our players got better as our season went along. At this time, I'd like for the following ladies to come forward to the front of the stage: Kendall Bowers, Kelsey Husky, Keena Simons, Emma Dingle, Sydney Hampton, Jasmine Hornbuckle, Peyton Dehart, Cambry Jenkins, Reese Welch, Caitlin Carter, Selena Nations, Sarah Ward, Ayana West, and Alyssa Heyman. This year we started out rough. We lost our first two games by a combined 40-plus runs. As coaches, we prepared ourselves for the worst and began to work even harder on improvement. Over the course of the remainder of our season, this team in front of you improved in a big way. It went from being 0-2 to finishing the rest of the season 5-1, including beating both teams that beat them by those amount of runs earlier in the season. That's improvement. Every person on our team got better, and to us, that is the ultimate goal. For this reason, we would like to present our Most Improved Award to our entire team. While we cannot get each player an award, we felt it was important that each was recognized for their hard work and dedication to improvement, characteristics that will carry them far in life. We are extremely proud of them, our most improved players. Thank you, ladies. Now, as we begin our portion of the varsity awards, we want to extend our congratulations to the 2016 state track champions, as well as those individual champions. We're very proud of you. We'd also like to extend our thanks to the families. Would you please stand if you're a family member or mother or father of one of our varsity players? Everybody gets shy when I say that. There they are. Thank you all. We will be forever grateful that you shared your daughters with us. I also like to thank our coaching staff. Did a fantastic job this year. Our 2016 varsity season had its shares of ups and downs. We finished the season 10-10 overall and in fourth place in Smoky Mountain Conference. We ended up securing fourth place on the final day of the regular season as we defeated Murphy 7-6 in 8 innings. We scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to tie the game and scored in the bottom of the 8th to take the win. This was indicative of the way our season went. Hello. One run ball game. So at this time, we'll call up our varsity players. Kelsey Huston, Troy Treadway, Melissa Hayden, Lisa Green, Megan Adams, Gabby Jones, Shane Tolster, Callie Brown, Melissa Smith, Cindy Call, Briar Cannon, Clay Day, Grace Kay, Aaron Jenkins, and Caitlin Dills. As these young ladies come up, our coaching staff is giving their letter awards, which we give everyone, as well as the Max Preps Player of the Game awards if they're a recipient of that. At the start of our season, I challenged this team with a big challenge. I wanted them to reestablish our culture for our program moving forward. This was something I felt was extremely important as we headed into the next section, next phase of our program. The culture that I demanded of them was to compete on every pitch, to play unselfishly and for each other, and lastly, to never let another team outwork us. They accomplished all of those things and so much more. This team truly enjoyed being around each other and playing for each other. They genuinely celebrated and enjoyed each other, something that will carry them far in life and that is extremely important to us. That is that our players become good mothers, sisters, wives, daughters, and citizens of the world in general. If we are able to accomplish this in our short time with them, then these guys are winners in every sense of the word. With that in mind, we could give out dozens of awards, but we settled on 2 tonight. We'd like to ask at this point to recognize our all-conference players, and you guys can go ahead and be seated after we do that. Our honorable mention, all-conference, Grace Cade. Honorable mention, all-conference, Caitlin Dills. All Smoky Mountain Conference selection, Shani Katolster. Another All Smoky Mountain Conference selection, Briar Buchanan. And All Smoky Mountain Conference selection, Sydney Call. Thank you, ladies. You can be seated. As we said, it was difficult for us to come up with just 2 awards, but as a coaching staff, we settled on 2 pretty easily. Our first award tonight is called the Lady Devil Leadership Award. It goes to the primary person who was charged with and responsible for reestablishing our culture. From day one, she accepted the responsibility and never wavered. Whether it was encouraging someone who made a mistake, or cheering them on, or coming up with big hits, she always seemed to deliver exactly what our team needed. Most of the time, these things happened out of the public eye, where no one but her coaches and her teammates saw it or even knew what she did, or more importantly, how important it was to our team. She's also a young lady who is a sterling example of growing up in our system. She came to us as a freshman who couldn't throw or catch particularly well, and with hitting, she had a hard time with her bat speed catching up to pitches. But through hard work, she made herself into a softball player, one that would contribute to her team in multiple ways. Leadership, and this award is multifaceted. It encompasses encouraging or corrective words at the appropriate moment, as well as being on the same page as your coaches and being a great example for others to follow. It is for all these reasons and many more that we present the Lady Devil Leadership Award to our only senior, Caitlin Dills. Our other award tonight we're calling the Lady Devil Courage Award. Before we begin, we have tons of deserving players who have made tremendous contributions and improved greatly on our team, which makes narrowing it down to these two awards nearly impossible. And I know that it opens us up to all sorts of sideline pundits who would like to push some type of personal agenda. The truth is, as a coaching staff, we are around this young lady every day and are in awe of her play and her courage. The young lady we chose for this award led our team in hitting, extra base hits, posted a .796 slugging percentage, as well as a 1.288 OPS. On top of that, she made only one error all season in 47 total chances. Honestly, though, it's not for any of those reasons that she is receiving this award, but rather the fact that she accomplished all of those numbers with just one arm. In my time coaching softball, I've had two players who have willed their way through a season with an injury that would have ended most people's season. Our recipient for this award played the whole season without being able to raise her throwing arm. A feat that by itself is amazing, but to have posted the numbers that she did is simply the definition of Marine Strong. Our Lady Devil Courage Award goes to Sydney Call.
I would also like to say Sharon Burrell does a lot for us here at the school, and I'd like for y'all to keep her in her prayers. She has cancer, and we don't know how bad, but she's going to get the news in the next 7 to 10 days. So y'all keep her in your prayers because she does do a lot with these kids in this school. Thank you. Thank you, Coach Burrell. JV baseball and varsity baseball, Coach Tyler Shooter.
We're going to combine JV baseball and varsity baseball because basically we had one big team all season. A couple people I'd like to thank before we get started. I'd like to thank Carrie Powell. She helped out a lot this year, does a lot of work. I'd like to thank Sherry Wright for keeping the book, keeping stats, uploading everything to Max Preps, made my life a lot easier. I'd like to thank anybody else that came out, supported, helped in any way the baseball program this year. Our first award is going to be for a JV baseball player. We named it the Step Up Award. It was a freshman that we pulled up to varsity. He started at first base. We moved into third. He pitched some, helped us out a lot, filled in the lineup, and played pretty well for a freshman, and that's Dawson Chambers. Varsity players, will you please stand up? We had 3 honorable mention selections. We had Darren Blankenship, Zach Epps, and Dawson Lowe. Our first award, our most valuable player, who was also all-conference. He was our consistent player in the middle, started our lineup off. Also pitched a lot of good innings for us, and that's Trey Bradley. Our next award goes to a young man who faced a lot of adversity. He started out the season hoping to play in the field and pitch. Due to some shoulder complications, that limited him to just pitching, but that never got him down. He showed up every day. He worked hard. He did everything we asked. I think he bunted more balls than anyone else in our lineup, and he had one at bat on the season. That's Trent Wright. Thank you.
Okay, athletes, I need your help here real quick. At this time, I'd like for you to give your parents a round of applause for all their hard work, dedication, sandwich making, everything they've done for you. Thank you, parents. Our next awards are our senior awards. Our first award goes to a young man, and it's commitment to excellence. Ever since I've known this young man, he's worked hard at anything he's done. He's put the time in, and he truly bleeds maroon and white. He loves what he does, and he competes at the highest level. And a commitment to excellence award goes to Ross Inslee. Our sportsmanship awards are voted on by their peers. We bring them in, they vote on them. It's based on character, work ethic, and what they see in them as an athlete. And this award should mean a lot because it's picked by your peers. For the females, this young lady always gives everything she's got. She plays hard. I think she played 4 sports this year. This award goes to Gabrielle Lane. For the boys, you've heard this kid's name a lot. Okay, just about who he is. He's received a lot of awards this year. He has great character. He's played 3 sports this year, and he always seems to keep his cool when he gets competitive, and that's Angel Bowers. Oh boy, they forgot to put your GPAs on here, so I don't have them. The academic award, these two were both very tight for female male, and it could have changed because I have to order these awards 7 weeks ago, so I don't have the last 9 weeks. I wished I had your GPA. They're supposed to put them on here, but they're not on here. If you want to bring them back to me, I'll get them on there for you. The GPA award winner, to play all the sports that she does and still keep a GPA like this, goes to Brooklyn Brown. For the boys, Jake Marr. Female Athlete of the Year, voted on by the coaches, goes to a young lady that kind of switched sports. She started off in volleyball, and then she did volleyball and cross country and became really successful at that. And to have a lung problem, it seems like she's always dying out there. She continued to work hard, and you've seen her throughout the summer. If you came up here on Christmas break and you worked, she was always running and making herself better. And she's a big reason that we have a state championship here, because other people saw how she worked. The female athlete goes to Shelby Hyatt. The male athlete goes to a young man just like her. During football, I know that he was on everything. And it didn't matter if we were in Atlanta and it was 90 degrees and people were cramping. Because of his work ethic during the summer, it didn't affect him. He went both ways. He was on special teams. Then you go into wrestling, and he cuts weight to get down to that. You come in during Christmas, he's up in the weight room, he's running, working to cut weight, and then all of a sudden it's track season, and he's working on that. You've heard his name a lot, Male Athlete of the Year, Caleb Woodard. The Maroon Devil Award goes to the athlete who sacrifices, doesn't put himself first, doesn't care about playing time, but is at every practice, never misses a practice, never misses a game, and always puts his team first, but will do anything to make Swain better. And then if you go to if he doesn't have a game that night, you may show up and he's at a wrestling match, or he's cheering for the girls at the state track meet. The Maroon Devil athlete, voted on by the coaches, goes to Angel Bowers. All right, as we end up, Coach Burrow, will you help me do this? So we got senior books, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Fran and Christy for all their hard work with these books. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures that they go through to put these books together for these seniors, and they put each one individually together, and sometimes we leave someone off, okay, that may have joined the team late that we didn't see. If we did that, I'm sorry. If you'll come to me afterwards, I will get that taken care of. And I know we've done that already once, and I've already talked to this lady. But when you get your book, seniors, if you will come up, line the front, then I'm going to ask Mr. Thomas to come up, since you do it so well, and lead us in the school song. and then we'll conclude tonight. Remember, we have a girls' track meeting afterwards, and then we have a meeting about the rings also. Okay? Thank you.
All right, here we go. Trent Wright, Serena Holt, Harlan Moody, Rye Hester. Not sure if you guys need time or not. I'm just rolling. Sarah Hyatt, Angel Bowers, Ross Inslee, Eduardo Zavala, Caitlin Dills, Jonathan White, Jake Marr, Gabby Lane, Ryan Long, Madison Travitz, Jolie Queen, Catherine Murray, Laura Booth, Milton Woodard, Zach Epps, Ryan Tranter, Shelby Hyatt, Jeremiah Hampton, Faith Long, J.T. Langston, Chandler Norton, Autumn Cochran, Jordan Cody, Cooper Reiner, Brooklyn Brown, Brett Bivens, Derek Fortner, Autumn Brown, Christian Norton, Brody Sitton, Caleb Woodard, and Chelsea Dehart.
Y'all stay right there. We got Booster Club scholarships. Mr. Danny McLeod, if you'll come up and give out these Booster Club scholarships.
Okay, we're going to make it short and sweet because I know everybody wants to go home. It's been a long season, lots of concession stand work, but it all pays off being able to give this out here. I wish that we could give every senior one, but just not possible. But we picked 6 that we thought were maroon strong on and off the field, in the classroom. And if you'll notice something, these 6 that we give, they've came up here so many times already. There's a reason for that. They are 100% maroon strong. Our first one, Shelby Hott. Second one, Brooklyn Brown. Gabby Lane. Angel Bowers. Ross Inslee. And Caleb Woodard. These are $500 scholarship awards. Thank you.
These folks have all come along since I left, but a lot of you out there are parents of these, so that really makes me feel old. You'll recall we had a tradition in English 3. Our classroom was the choice room in the whole high school. I don't know of another school in the whole United States that has a maroon and white garbage truck. Maroon strong it was. That was our cue. Didn't matter if we were in the middle of a test or what. Every time the garbage truck circled through, we stood up, sang the school song. That's probably the only thing a lot of you remember about my class other than Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. Anyhow, these seniors hopefully all know the school song, and the rest of you who are alumni should know it too. So everyone, let's please stand. Salute to Swain High. Ready, ready. Swain High, Swain High, we ever praise thy nobleness, and we happily unfeeling we can never express. Thou art majestic, Swain High, in Carolina blue. We salute thee, Swain High.
y'all. Safe travels. Remember, we have pictures up there. We have senior night pictures also. Thank you.